some of with an alcoholic percentage. Yeah. Cool.
Welcome. We back again. Another interview. Unpleasant thoughts. You know what I'm saying? Shampoo, aka Big Shampoo.
It's your boy Sly, the guy no lie.
Of course, Big Sugar Midnight.
Alright, you got a very, very special guest. You know what I'm saying? Introduce yourself, let the people know who you are.
JayFlow, 301, Maryland, you already know. Grind hard, dream big. I'm here with Unpleasant Thoughts, man. What's up with y'all, man?
What's up with you? Grind hard?
Grind hard, dream big, man. How do you grind big, you dream big?
Tell us about that. What exactly does that mean?
So, grind hard, dream big. I wrote it down in 2014. I'm big on writing. I'm big on reading. So I wrote it down in a notebook in 2014. It was just like a slogan. It was something that stuck with me. And the pandemic hit, and I just told myself, like, what's the next pivot? What's the next play? Being an artist first, you know, doing shows and things like that, I was like, all right, so how can I create something bigger? 2020, like I said, the pandemic hit. Then I would say July 5th, 2020, I did a motivational video. And I'm like, all right, cool, I did one. I was just talking. I didn't really know if it was gonna be receptive or not, things like that. Then people was tapped into it. Then I was like, all right, let me try it again. And I did it over and over and over again, not really paying attention to likes, views, comments, or anything like that. And I was like, all right, you know what? This is a little short video. I gotta do something more. So I just looked at the slogan, looked at my notebooks, things that I constantly wrote over and over again, and decided that was gonna be the title. And then November 6th, 2020, Uncensored Network, shout out to Brian and my man Steven, engineer, we just decided to go ahead with Grind Hard, Dream Big, and never look back ever since.
Okay, so that started in 2020, right?
Yes.
July, right?
Yeah. So July 5th was the start of the motivational videos.
Okay.
The start of the podcast was November 6th, 2020.
Okay, so November 6th, you've been in the podcast, the Grind Hard, Dream Big.
Yes.
Definitely, you don't know, man. Check my man Jay out for definitely motivational interviews, right?
Yeah.
And like, you know what I'm saying, not to compare you to nobody, but the inspiration you give is like Wallo inspiration. I ain't gonna hold you, bro. It's like,
it's crazy, you know.
It's not bullshit. It's like, bro, like, it's like you watch this shit, you like, he right. It's like, forget the little shit, you know what I mean? Forget the little stuff, you know what I mean? Focus on the bigger dream. Don't, like I said, you did this in July, right? You wrote a book, and you said you wrote your notes in 2014, right?
Yeah, I wrote it in the notebook in 2014, yeah.
2014.
Right.
To get here, what is that? Almost 7 years later? 7 years later.
Yeah, basically 8 years now, yeah.
So you freaking planted that seed in 2014.
Right.
Then let go. All you did was water it. And then you added another supplement to it. It was like, alright, some motivation videos.
Yeah.
Then you say, I'm gonna add another nutrition to my plant and let that flower blossom to something big. You know what I'm saying? Don't know what the flower is. It's just plant. It's a seed right now. We don't know what it's gonna grow into. It could grow into an oak tree, a willow tree. It some people flowers could be a rose, but it could be that rose, the special rose, or the blue rose to be unique to them.
Absolutely.
So like, I feel like your motivation speaking, like me personally, I watch it and it gives me motivation. It's like, all right, look, he doing the same thing, he on the same grind. It's actually watching somebody be on the same purpose and the same goal to be like, look, I ain't giving up.
Right.
So I appreciate that too, right? And I also know you do a lot of community work. Can you speak on that?
Yeah, absolutely. So with Grind Hard, Dream Big, it's allowed me to align myself with different people. So I believe the first person that really reached out to me was Dare to Be Different, mentoring, outreach, CEO Kim. She saw my motivational videos and was really inspired by that. So we just connected through social media. And we were able to do, plethora of events as far as like feed the homeless, take kids to Dave & Buster's, raise money, things of that nature. And then she introduced me to more people, and shout outs to Braxton Legacy Foundation, because we've done work as well. So just being connected with the podcast and, interviewing people and giving them that safe space to express themselves, whether they have a business or just a simple message of positivity, motivation, to grind the ins and outs. Just being relatable in this time and age is very, very important. So,
as a motivator, what motivates you? Like, do you just enjoy people listening to what you're saying and taking heed to your advice, or is it more so I'm gonna put the information out there? If you take it, good. If not, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so
I did my part.
And to be honest with you, it's the second one, not the first one. Because
that's the first one?
Yeah, it's not
confused.
Because the reason why I say that is because a lot of people look at it in a way where it was confusion. Like, all right, bet, like he's pushing the record button and he's like doing this, and who is this person, right? Right. So it's just like, oh, I'm trying to motivate this person. No, I'm really like talking to myself. It's therapy for myself. If you catch it, you catch it. You know what I'm saying? Like, hopefully it helps you as well. Because I'm going through this in this particular moment. Some people didn't know that.
Like that.
Yeah, right. It's therapy for myself.
Never think like
that. You feel me? Like, it's the mode I'm in, the mood I'm in, and this is exactly what I'm feeling in this particular time. So it's a reminder to myself, if I can really, if this is what I'm going through, I know that somebody else is probably going through it as well. And if they take it, they take it. If they don't, they don't. But it's therapy for myself, like, for me to motivate myself through the day. Because I needed to do that.
So for me, like, as a person watching, right? Right? Never took it from that, bro. Never took it. For me, I took it from like, hey, this person, not even that you got it all together, it's like, I've been through it before. Not that you're dealing with it at the current time and trying to get, surpass it and taking your own advice to get to your next level.
Right.
For me, it was like, he's already been through this and he's teaching us and giving the inspiration because he already conquered it.
Right.
But either way, it didn't matter because I still felt it residually. And it was resounding to me to go be myself. Yeah,
absolutely. And if that's the case, then, job well done, right? Yeah. So that's why I look at it, because it's the notion of the trial and tribulation and even that roadblock that you go through, right? Prime example, Wednesdays. I do not like Wednesdays. Reason why I say I don't like Wednesdays is because I literally find myself that
Adam Sandler.
Nah, it's not even that. It's just the simple fact, like, with Wednesday is like, it's midweek. Personally, I don't find myself being productive on those days. Even if it's like, all right, but you at work, you're doing your thing, whatever like that. But it's just like, it's mid, it's like you stuck. You feel me? Right. So it's like a lot that goes on into that.
So you say it's like basically like you going through the shit, so you kind of like talking to yourself. So do you like? I feel like they take a lot of self-awareness. Like you have to step outside of yourself.
You became a fourth person,
like
the fourth world.
To view your situation. Like, do you try to like view it as somebody else? And then I don't want to say, hey, multiple personalities, but like you kind of step outside yourself to view your situation as someone else, and you try to motivate yourself. You try to talk yourself.
Third person is like you speak onto yourself, and
but I wanted to know how that came about. Like you trying to motivate yourself.
Yeah, like motivating.
That's not something most people can do.
Right. No, I agree with you 100%. So like motivating myself. Yeah, sometimes I do step outside because I realize that like you could try every single thing and it may still not work, but at the same notion, like you still have to attempt. A lot of us, we hear all these things or be like, all right, you know what, it sounds good, I'm gonna do this day. We tell ourselves, but we don't really fall through with things. So I think, seeing people not fall through, seeing people not really go to that gear that they wanted to go to, really motivated me to be like, all right, well, you know what, let me go to this gear. And if I can do this, then I know anybody else can too. So that really,
you said it happened during the pandemic. What was the one moment that made you feel like, I need to do this? Like I don't know, you motivating yourself, but did you feel like
he did this on 14 though?
Yeah, the slogan.
Yeah, the slogan was 2014.
But like I get it because
what was the switch?
Like what was it? It had to be like something that you know what I'm saying. Like was it something like where you during the pandemic it threw everybody off?
Yeah, the pandemic definitely did.
Like I got laid off during the pandemic. Like so, was it like a particular situation
that
made you put your foot down? I'm
going hard.
Oh yeah, well like I ain't gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. Like I just like the motivational videos, like people wanting more, and then people like being receptive to it and being like I'm not gonna lie. Like I just went through this decision and it's like, oh my gosh, I needed your motivation. So it's like, dang, somebody really watched it. Like somebody really took heed to it. It's like, oh I belong now. Like, cause sometimes you could count yourself out, but then there's like strangers that literally count yourself out.
I think in a generation like we all going to right now, everybody in this room, right? We came in a generation where like computers were starting, right? Right, computers just taking off in that generation, right? And then we all became like kind of computer savvy, and then by then we was lost. I ain't gonna hold you. It was like, if you ain't catch on computer frame from back in the 90s, if you was born in the 90s, you ain't catch on to the early 2000s,
right?
You kind of like, I'm catching up back again. Like, you could have stuck with everything, but you ain't entrenched into the stuff like the younger generation is.
Right.
So for this generation, it's like,
Computers probably were looked at as a fad.
It is.
Yeah. No, I'm saying back in the day, like.
Oh yeah, you had to have. You had to be like rich or have it, like real shit.
Not even that. My mother say.
Dial up.
No, I'm saying my mother say my father had the opportunity to get in, like go to like some school.
I told you this though.
No,
Your father been a millionaire already.
But I'm saying some school type shit for computer. My father died in '93.
But he would have been a millionaire
If he would have
20 years
had
later,
the vision
millionaire.
to know what computers would become.
Yeah.
No less than that. You making six
But
figures.
Computers doesn't, like back in the day, computers just probably seemed like some dumb shit because the older people, I don't like, my mother used to tell me, I was like, man, get another phone, you need a better phone. And man, I don't care about that. I don't need to do nothing but call. But then as time passes,
She
you
got the
need your
FaceTime.
phone for everything. You need to ride somewhere, Uber.
Yeah.
You don't know where you are.
You got apps.
Whatever. So it's not just calling anymore, but that's how a phone was basically used back in her day.
Yeah, for sure.
Getting with the
times. And the thing is, for me, I'm not gonna lie, like social media at first, I was using it the wrong way. I think everybody probably had it at a time and place where they used it the wrong way.
Tell us the right way. I feel like I got
start with the wrong way. I want
so the wrong. So okay. So for me personally, it's like, all right, you know, like, IG for example, you got Instagram. You sit there, you post a picture, you just post a picture, right? And it's like, all right, bet up, you know, you ate this food or whatever, like you was here, boom, whatever. So for me, it was like, with the podcast and whatever it was, treat it like a tool. All right, bet, what is your formula? What are you gonna do, right? So for motivation for myself, I know, you know, people that watch, the people that, you know, follow me, if Jay's not dropping a video by like 11 or 12 o'clock, something wrong. You know what I'm saying? Normally, if I wake up early in the morning, people are going to be like, all right, bet 7:30, 8 a.m., you're on your way to work. You know what I'm saying? Catch this motivation, right? So now it's like, you got videos, you got reels. Some people don't like to be talked to death. So I had to really find my formula right there.
Well, I would say one thing. I tell you niggas, you gotta be present on social media.
Facts.
That's a fact.
No, that's a fact.
And that's why we got to this thing, right?
Show face.
You know, like I said, and you're being a fan of your work, right? Like I'm saying, like we know it's your show, but like being a fan of your shit, like watching it, you gave me a time frame. Like I said, I know in the morning you're dropping something.
Yeah,
I know by the end of the night you didn't post it. This.
Yeah,
At least 10. Even if you don't do it all week, you did it one day. You did it with a real, like, this is all I'm doing all day. I'm shouting out people on sprint work. Even if it was 2 months ago, I still work with you.
Yeah,
I'm
absolutely.
Still snap.
Because I'm big on relationships and understanding that when you build relationships with people, it's gonna take you more than where the money is. You know what I'm saying? Like, it don't matter. Like, we could be all in this room. You know what I'm saying? He could be worth $100. You could be worth $1,000. He could be worth $1 million. I could be worth $1, right?
Good.
I'm just saying, like,
I like your example.
But like I said, and I could be worth $1, right? I could be worth $1, right? So my thing about it is, it don't matter about the bracket. My character is gonna be what it is, how I treat you. You know what I'm saying? Because like it doesn't matter like your job title or whatever it is. You feel what I'm saying? Because the way you treat people and you build your relationship, if you're intentional with it, you know what I'm saying, you're going to win every single time. Okay. You got to make sure that your intention is right.
So like a book, not even a book I read. It's books I read and information I got from people, right? They told me.
Book topic.
So this thing goes to this, right? I've heard, I don't want to say 100%, I done heard like 90% of stuff people say, you don't chase money first. You chase the dream. And you chase the dream, the money will come. Because everybody who's successful, you chase the dream. You're already getting paid for something you like to do. The worst thing in the world to me is being paid for stuff you like. I hate going to. You feel what I'm saying? Right. I hate being here. I hate going, clock in, clock out. How was your day? Type of shit. Regular day. It's no living experience. It's no life quality.
The thing I hated the most about the job is looking at the schedule for the upcoming weeks, and I have no control over when I work. Like, I don't want to be there on a Sunday.
I like that. I like that better. I like that. 'Cause me personally, I didn't like that. Like,
You like that they tell you in advance, but
Yeah,
I just
because,
don't like people
because
being
I know,
Yeah, for sure.
no, because I know if I don't want to go to work on this day, I'm calling the fuck out.
Well, personally, I don't want to go to work. I don't want to go to work none of these days.
But I'm calling out if I don't want to go.
But I don't like people being in control of my time. So, like, what I was saying about the books, though, are you a book reader? And, I like to apply pressure. If you were to write a book tomorrow, what would it be about?
Okay,
So
that's two-part question.
Yeah, so for one, I'm a heavy reader. I ain't gonna lie, the pandemic was a blessing in disguise.
Can you give us 3 favorite books?
Yes, I can. I can get, yeah.
Yeah, extra pressure. Though.
Yeah, so
I know you
I'm
can.
gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be honest with you. The Way of the Superior Man taught me a lot about discipline.
What's the title?
Title of the book.
The Way of
the Superior Man. That's one.
Okay, and can you give like a quick synopsis of what it?
Basically, I mean, if you want to highlight, like you as a person, you read that joint, you're gonna apply something that even better. Like it's gonna highlight your flaws, your weaknesses, everything about you as a person, and where you can get better at. You know what I'm saying? Things of that nature.
Self-awareness.
It's a self-awareness book.
That's what you say. You ask them.
Yeah, I encourage.
He has self-awareness.
Yeah, I encourage all men to read the book. It's gonna make you better. You know what I'm saying? As a
Do it hurt you at the same time?
Oh, it's gonna hurt you. It's gonna cut you.
You're like, damn, I ain't ready no man.
But it's gonna cut you in a good way though.
If you sit and think about yourself from somebody else's perspective, you gonna hurt your feelings like, damn, I ain't shit.
Right. You gonna go way hard on yourself.
Yeah, I would say that book, The Way of the Superior Man, The Alchemist, for sure.
I heard like
The Alchemist. Yeah, if you want to learn patience,
like life.
And life, The Alchemist.
That's what I like.
Yes. Yeah, like The Alchemist for sure. He's going through a whole bunch of things, but you're gonna tap into your inner legend. Like, that gear that you feel like you need to go to, you're gonna definitely understand that even more after reading it. Take your time with it though.
Do you have
Don't rush it.
I'm about to say, do you have to read these books multiple times?
Yeah, I'm a slow reader.
I mean, if you could get it on the audio. Me, I'm an old school type of guy when it comes to reading. So I have to actually have the physical book in my hand. That's just
I can't reread because I can reread and still hear from the outside world.
That's fine.
I gotta put some headphones in and go.
And then I would say if I had a third book, man, it's kind of hard, but I would definitely say
The 40 Laws.
Nah.
Damn.
Who moved my cheese?
Who moved
my cheese? Because
I never heard
it's honestly a situation where money was misplaced, but it taught you a lot about financial literacy, and it also taught you about like how to build relationships.
Are these books just like how are they structured? Are any of them like fictional, non-fictional, or just
more
like motivational?
So majority of the books I read are motivational. Some of them are historic. Some of them are just self-help. Because I feel like in a content creating space or just a creating space, you got to find multiple ways to market, be appealing, but also be your authentic true self. So these books serve as reminders of the initial purpose and how you start, and then don't forget about your end goal or whatever goal you set for yourself.
All right, so I know you say you do the motivational videos and everything.
Right.
So what motivates you to do those videos when you don't have any motivation?
Damn.
That's a deep question, and I appreciate that question too. To be honest with you, my mom and my dad and my sister, I'm big on family, so it's just like sometimes days I feel like quitting. I know it's rough because I know sometimes I would sit there and do videos and nobody watch it, and I feel like, man, that's like that. It's lit. Like, you don't understand what I just said.
I get it.
Yeah, you feel me? Like, yeah, it's lit.
When I posted it and watched it,
yeah,
this shit deep.
Yeah, it's like
there's
it's
no
lit.
way you can't.
Yeah, it's like that's how I be feeling. Like,
but
man, come on, man.
With it.
Yeah, they're not liking it, right? So it's like, okay, what do you do? Sit there and cry?
Don't look at it. It's not that they liking it. They just didn't watch it.
They just didn't see it, right? Because then when I realized,
they probably would love it.
Yeah, because it's like what you do today and what you don't do tomorrow. Somebody be like, man, what you mean? Like,
catch on eventually.
Yeah, they're gonna catch on to it. So going back to answering your question, it's really my family, my mom, my dad, my sister, and then the people that really like depend on it and rely on it. Because it's some people that sit there and be like, man, like that motivation that just helped me, and then they'll just sit there and they'll tag me and be like, man, another word right on time. I needed this, like, because people go through so many emotions, and like mental health it's a big thing.
That shit's underrated.
No, it's the biggest ever been.
It's big, you know.
Biggest ever been.
They're putting a bigger spotlight on it than they had before.
Right.
But no, it's just like black men's mental health. It's probably
It's because now it's not even, it's like now as a culture, we can literally cut on the phone and compare ourselves to somebody we don't even freaking know.
Yeah, but see, that's a problem too, though.
Yeah, it's a big problem.
You know, like I said, like you said before,
you
like,
might self-diagnose yourself.
Right, exactly.
Based
like
off someone else.
Yeah, like basically like what you were saying earlier, like me doing motivational videos, right? A lot of people that in the beginning were like, all right, he's doing motivational videos. Then all of a sudden it's just like, all right, well, I'm continuing to build my formula. You know what I'm saying? Like at first the motivational videos were long. So it's just like, okay, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. All right, that's too long. All right, Jay, what you gotta do? Go back, recharge, revamp, refocus. Like, all right, cool. Make it shorter. Once I started making them shorter and I found my formula, it got better. Like reels were 15 seconds or less. Regular videos were
reels get definitely more views.
And then on top of that, like the regular videos, if I was gonna sit there and talk, I told myself like, all right, man, it's gotta be under 2 minutes. It's gotta be under 1:30. Get to the point, get it to them, and just stay focused on whatever it was. And be unapologetic about it too.
I don't want to give recipe away, right?
I ain't trying to, but
I don't want to give recipe right. So
I wasn't, but you know.
That's
my formula though.
I want to give you a recipe away, right? So my thing is, I watch the videos, right?
Yeah.
Like I say, fan, a real fan, real fan.
Appreciate it.
I watch the people you have on, this and that. You know what I'm saying? My thing is, right, I had some days, this is honesty, real honesty, I feel like some people feel like it's right. Not even I'm clicking your video intentionally, you on my timeline, I scroll, I'm like, I don't even want to hear this day.
Right.
Because it's positive. I'm going through some shitty day.
Right.
I'm going to skip it, right?
Right.
Man, this nigga too happy.
Right. No, I get it.
Too happy.
And I get it.
Too happy for me.
Right.
But at the same time, I ain't hold you, I speak back to it.
Right.
Because I say, I won't let the devil take that because my spirit was already enjoying it previously, so why am I angered today by it? Maybe it hit me like the truth. Maybe it was like, I'm talking directly to you.
I feel like that fits in the misery loves company. If I'm fucking upset, I don't want to see nobody who's happy.
Yeah.
I want to see the motherfucker who, I want to see a post that feel like I feel, fuck this bitch.
Right. And like I said, and it's like with negativity, because you know, like you'll scroll through your timeline and stuff like that. I'm just confident in like the approach and what I have, but I always remind myself like you are what you entertain, not attract, because it's like.
Break it down, cause that was deep.
It was, because it's like, so say for example, if you have a positive platform and you're doing something positive, like 9 times out of 10, why would you hang around, you know, negative people? Then you're like contradicting yourself. So what I'm learning throughout this journey is like alignment is key. Like that energy that you want to be, that energy that you want to attract, you got to be that energy. You know what I'm saying? If you want that vibe, you got to be that vibe. Some people be like, man, good things don't happen to me. Well, when's the last time you did a good thing? You feel what I'm saying? Something like that, or when's the last time you been that? You feel me? So it's like the things that we want to chase are the things that we really have to attempt to be first, and then we'll be able to, you know, get that.
Do you believe in the sense of that you believe in karma?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what I believe.
Yeah, like if you do 9 times out of 10, if you do something bad to somebody, yeah, that bad. It's gonna creep up to you. It's gonna probably creep up on you in the worst way too. You probably didn't even expect it. Like everything is on the ups, and then boom. You feel me?
And one more again to double back, if you were to write a book tomorrow, what would that be about?
It'd probably be about my life and what I've been through.
You think that book is gonna be good
enough?
Do
you care to tell us about what you've been through?
So like, I mean, for me, I grew up in Hyattsville. It wasn't like the best city.
I feel like that cut you up. Like, do you feel like you would write that book now at your age, or like that to be like the all-in book?
I mean, right now,
you would start it.
I would probably start it right now, to be honest.
Yeah, because writing books probably take a while.
Yeah, writing books probably take a. I mean, I like to take my time.
I want. To me, I'll be just a young man, black man myself. Like a young man, I don't care what author you is, what race you is. If you're the same age group, and I feel like if you're not living the same lifestyle, I don't want to take it right now.
Yeah.
From you, it had to become. To me, I'm more receptible from older people. Like Snoop Dogg, I never been a Snoop Dogg gangster. I'm not a gangster like Snoop Dogg, but I would take some.
I'm not a gangster anymore.
Right.
My point exactly. I was never like him.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna be more receptive to his knowledge as he is now because he's actually changed and producing his life like on.
I'm halfway.
Nah, I agree. I mean, but for me, like, you know, like I said, I grew up in Hyattsville, so it's a small city. I grew up right by Prince George's Mall. You know what I'm saying? PG Plaza. You know, of course, you know, if you drive past there, they revamped it, so it's completely different from what it was back in the day.
You go to Plaza,
you know,
Prince George.
So yeah, Plaza Prince George's, they got an ad piece and all that now. Before, yeah, it was really fancy, right? So yeah, I grew up over there, and I remember always driving to Langley Park, you know, Toys R Us and everything over there and things like that.
You might say Toys R Us.
Yeah, back in the day. Yeah, back in the way. Yeah, you know, going back.
No, that's one still left.
Yeah, I think so. So like even with that and growing up in Hyattsville.
KB Toys.
KB Toys too.
KB Toys.
That was out there in Greenbelt. Yeah, man. See, now you're going back. Yeah, but you feel what I'm saying? Like
Jeebus and everything in that mall.
Yeah, going back to that though, it's like, you know, I grew up in Hyattsville and around that area was, you know, predominantly Hispanic.
Mm-hmm.
You know, minority community. You ain't really see that much. People ain't really come through and, you know, drive through and do a lot of things like that. You know, boys and girls clubs were big back then. Transition to now, you don't really see that many. You know, moved from Hyattsville in the Springdale area now. So seeing the different, you know, climates, obviously, you know, I went to private school and I went to public school. So I went to private school when I was little. And I went to public school, you know, in high school. Yeah.
Oh, shit.
So I got both, right? So it's reverse. Yeah, that's what people don't really know.
That's
but you know, we on Unpleasant, so I'm gonna just be real. So the thing about it, right? You go from sheltered.
I haven't had it public.
Yeah. So you go from shelter to, all right, you know, now you're in an environment. Yeah, they care about you, right? So now you're in public school, and when you're in public school, it's like, oh, now you on your own. You got to go ahead and figure it out. So for me, it's like, all right, bet. You know, shout outs to Charles Herbert Flowers High School because I graduated from there, and that's a school. You feel me? Yeah, but at the same token,
black.
Yeah, at the same token though, that school really taught me a lot because it really taught me about. It taught me a lot about like just survival and you wanting the willpower to actually finish, you know, your education. Like, all right, man, if you gonna do it, oh yeah, you gonna really do it.
That's fucked up as people high school gotta teach you about survival. No, you real life gotta survive it.
Yeah, you do. You have to survive.
Yeah,
I agree.
But at the same time, do you feel like, because you started private school first, do you feel like the private school kind of molded you before you got to this, so you couldn't be broken by public school?
I mean, for me, it's the best of both worlds because I mean, when you're talking about America, you're talking about just like where we at with it. I just think that it's just, you know, you have to learn, right? So being sheltered is a good thing, and you know, learning how to survive, you know, we all have to. So I mean, to take both and just pivot off of both. You know, I just consider myself blessed and fortunate because I was able to adapt.
All right, so like,
living in those two worlds,
right?
Go ahead, you live in these two worlds too, Shug. Go ahead, Shug.
Of course, there's a vast difference in like the educational structure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Was it hard to adjust to a public school educational structure versus where you was in private school?
Yeah, absolutely. I think because in private school for me, it was just like, all right, cool. You go into class, you doing your thing, you know, that's it. You know, I play sports, but I play sports to like, you know, socialize. I never really thought.
So no class clowns, no.
No, like so for me first of all, to be honest with you, like
it's different. Like I know you got a public school, you got situations, right?
Yeah, so public school for me personally, I was really fine. I was really finding myself. I was really challenged because it was more so like I had to really know who I was as a person. Yeah, so like I would honestly say like my junior year, my senior year is when I really, you know, really tapped into myself. My sophomore year was more so like, all right, man, I'm trying to fit in, but I'm like, okay, why am I trying to fit in when I'm want to stand out? I know who I am, right? Yeah. But it's like, you know, it's that identity crisis of, okay, you want to be popular, you want to fit in, this, that, and the third, but all you have to really do is be yourself. And that's what my dad and my mom kept preaching, like, just be yourself and do what you want to do, and you figure it out. So I was just fortunate, like I said, once again, to, you know, take some of these classes like entrepreneurship. I was able to take that at Flowers and things like that. And it was beneficial for me as well. And then, of course, after high school, going to Bowie State University and getting my degree in broadcasting.
All right, so I'm going to go a little bit deeper, right? Because you educational, right?
Yeah.
Both of y'all brothers educational, right? You know what I'm saying? I think all of us educational, right?
Yeah.
We all live different lives. We all have the same, obviously, network that we all intertwine with each other.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
So, my thing is this, right? I'm trying to figure out how to propose the question. Like for people who did private school, right? And public school, you already said that you had to find yourself.
Yeah.
Transferring from, because people do backwards. Like some people, families get money and be like, alright, you ain't doing public no more. We got enough. I didn't elevate it. I'm gonna take it to private. Your family's like, alright, you got enough private education that I think you already got the base foundation not to lose yourself in public school.
Yeah, well, to piggyback off of that, that was my choice. My choice was to go to public school. It wasn't like, oh yeah, my mom.
You picked to be the
I picked the
jungle?
I picked to go there. I decided like I decided to go.
That wasn't his
Yeah.
jungle.
No, I'm saying
but
I was kind of body outside
but what I'm saying is like for my notion, right? I just want to say like, you know, I chose to go to Flowers because, you know, at that particular time it was just like I felt like, you know, I needed a transition. I wanted to try something new. So why not? And
so that was your choice.
Yeah, it was my choice.
It was a night. Hold on, I'm gonna just want.
Yeah, going to the 10th.
Because you're gonna be.
Yeah, I was going to my sophomore year. That's when I started. Yeah.
Okay, so you were about what?
I was about 15, 16.
So you made your own choice.
I made my own choice at that time. Yes.
Okay, so that's we are grown men now. So it's like,
yeah, for sure.
You gave your child the choice to go to public school instead of keeping them sheltered. As a parent, to me as a parent, it's a tough decision. But as my young child growing up to be finding himself, was trying to find himself,
right?
That's an excellent thing for my child to want to do that.
Yeah,
it's just tough.
It is tough.
It's just tough.
It's tough, bro.
I got a son too, but I wanted to ask you, like, what do you feel like was better for you socially?
Oh, I feel like socially, public school was better.
And that's where the shit get fucked up.
It do.
Yeah, because I think public school for me was better because, you know, for me, I just learned how to deal with. I just learned how to deal with people. And to be honest, man, like, I know some people would sit there and try to downplay public schools and stuff like that. You probably find the realest people in public schools. You grow up around it, and you're
people who grew up like you.
Yeah, like you, right?
Okay. So
and I'm not gonna lie. I mean, to be honest, like even with the culture and things like that, because I know that we are big on culture and stuff like that. You know, it's just the morale of, all right, you know, you're in school, you're doing your thing, you got homecoming, you got prom, you got all these different ways that you can socialize, even playing sports and things like that. So, you know, you're not hiding anymore. Like, this is the real world. This is what it is. You're going to deal with these type of people anyway. So why not go to public school?
Okay, so I'm gonna do my quick spiel, right?
That's fine.
My quick spiel of public school versus private school. Never been in private school, been in a term school.
Okay.
Alright.
Not worse.
Right. But it's technically a private because somebody privately owned that shit. Like the public school system, I can't be.
How do you get in there?
Right. Gotcha. Go ahead, man.
You know what I'm saying? So my thing is this, right? Being a person who was in public school, right? Man, it's a quick history. I was on honor roll from kindergarten to 5th.
Okay.
Right, and then this when things changed because I had to change schools because the school district had shrunk. But back in the day, it was you could travel to any of the best schools and then the bus pick you up from this place to this place. Right. So now I had to go to a place called C Pleasant Elementary when the school was some celebrities here and there. But anyway, I freak around going there. Right, Riverdale Elementary was completely different. It's public too, but it was multicultural.
Okay.
Spanish, white, blacks.
Right.
Right?
Definitely was.
Multicultural.
Got you.
So, I go to see Pleasant. 99% black. Fuck that. Straight up. 99% black. One white person in my class. One Spanish person.
Okay.
Then getting older, I transferred to middle school. Fuck that. 100% black. I ain't even see not Spanish or foreign in that motherfucker.
Okay.
Go to 9th grade. And then I started to feel like school wasn't for me because it was just, I started having too much fun. Fuck it. No structure. Fun. I was in control of my destiny as a kid. You know what I mean?
Right.
Not having the structure from family. they tried to structure me, but you gotta work in this. You know what I mean? You got bigger things to worry about than me. To me, as a kid, not to them, because I didn't share that information with them that I was struggling.
Right.
So as a kid, I did certain things, this and this and that. So 9th grade, didn't finish high school, regular high school. I go to alternative high school. To me, that would be technically private school, just with a whole bunch of bad people.
Got you.
You know what I mean? I had structure. I had 15 people in the classroom, max.
Okay.
Bro, this is what I'm saying, like 9th grade, HSAs, what's it called? HSAs?
HSAs.
Alright?
Yeah, you gotta take those and
Bro,
pass those.
you had to pass 4, or
Yeah.
get minimum school 4, or categories.
Yeah, you have to pass all of them. Yeah.
Bro, I passed 2, spanked 2, average 1 on math, but I had a D in the math. Got that just a little bit above average. And then I had to take a 4th one.
Okay.
So I did all that in private school. So it wasn't educational. It wasn't smart. I just needed a small capacity or a realm of focus.
Yeah, you have to learn how to. You have to learn how to. You know.
Yeah, because they told me
how you learn, right?
Yeah, it was like look, it's your last chance, or you want to get GED.
Right.
Me getting a GED, I couldn't go to regular school. You think I'm gonna go to regular school? You think I'm gonna go to school on my dime? Fuck no. So, to me, to sum it up, alternative school was the best thing for me, right?
Okay.
And I did public. But alternative school was the best thing to me. And me and my mom had a conversation the other day. It was like, I'm glad you went there, right? And I couldn't go back. Right? My mom would allow me to go back. I could have went back by the school standards, but my mother wouldn't allow it. So, it was like, she did everything to keep me into alternative school, which is technically, to me, private, because they're funding your education without that. Even when you finish alternative school, you get a diploma from your regular base school, whatever.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think everybody learns different. You know,
I think smaller is better.
I mean, for me, you know, I'm big on visuals. I love to, like I said, I love to read. I love to write. After high school, I went to Bowie State University.
You went to college?
Yeah, I went to college. Historically black. Historically
That's
black college.
Damn.
Yeah, historically. Yeah, I went to historically black college. I think it was Bowie State was the first one. Bowie State was the first one. Founded 1865. Maryland.
Like black?
Yeah, first historic.
Shout out to Bowie.
Yeah, first HBCU in Maryland.
Not Boise, Bowie.
Bowie State University, yes. So, you know, and I went to, you know, I decided to be a communications major, so broadcast journalism. So I took a lot of, you know, classes that dealt with public speaking, reading, writing, things of that nature. So, and my mom always sat there and told me that I'd use my voice one day, and I laugh at her because I'm just like, what are you talking about? And it's surreal, like, you know what I'm saying? This manifestation is God working. You feel me? And this is what I do.
She seen it.
And she already saw it.
She saw it.
And she manifested it.
You went to school for it. You saw it.
Right. And I went to school for it. Yeah, I did. Exactly.
You might didn't know you saw it.
You don't appreciate stuff until you...
Yeah, until it's actually, like, real. Right, exactly.
And she saw it, you saw it.
Yeah. So, you know, this is not... It doesn't happen by accident. You know, like I say in my videos, like, nothing happens on accident. Move with purpose, move with vision, and all that good stuff. Like, I tell people that because you never really know. Like, I feel like we constantly discover different things about ourselves
every day
we don't know. Yeah. So, you know, going back to education and things like that, this is why I do things with, you know, as far as community events, because I want the youth to tap into that gear. So for real, like, I want them to go understand, like, yeah, you're in school and yeah, you may not like school, but find something that you like doing legally, you know what I'm saying, and be able to attack it the way that you need to and believe in yourself.
All right, so for me, not to like be the devil advocate, right?
That's fine. Nah, go ahead.
I got to do this because I know you deal with the community, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So I'm just gonna be the badass kid, right?
That's fine.
This is me. I'm the 16-year-old me, right? So you preaching all this stuff to me. I'm gonna say this to you. Jay-Z, billionaire. Free Rick Ross, went to jail, came out of jail. He beat his own case. These are the bad guys.
Right. Okay. Right.
You did enough time.
He did, but he still got stuff out of jail.
He
still got stuff. He didn't have to do his whole sentence.
Okay. So you said Jay-Z, you said Freeway, who else?
Yeah, it's like, you know, it's a lot of people who were in the drug game who are smart, right? So I feel like they just didn't have their potentials put in the right direction. They could have been multi-billionaires regardless of drug dealing because they're 100% official bosses to me.
That's a morality thing. Because drug dealing, that is the industry. Based off whatever. Like, the drugs that they were dealing, they're considered bad people.
Yeah, but but I have another rhetoric for
no
you. I have another rhetoric to challenge you though.
That's no different.
You gotta think about it though too. Like, were they ever presented any other opportunity? You feel me? But what I mean by that though is do you have other outlets to channel your energy?
No.
You feel me? Because so if you don't have any other outlets to channel your energy, that's what you result to.
No, you might,
feel me?
but it's not other outlets that you're good at. Like,
That's who. I get you. I get you. But like,
if I can sell drugs, I might
right. So for example, like I know now, right, with education, like it's a struggle, the loophole with education.
Big loophole.
It's a big loophole, right? Because there's ways where we all want to express ourselves in certain things that certain classes that we wish that we took had the opportunity to take, right? But if the opportunity is created, then it resolves that issue from all right. Well, you don't have to go down this path. You can do this. You can do that. If it's not created and presented to you, then of course you fall victim to the notion of the product of my environment, this, that, and the third, because the opportunity was never there for you though.
I'm not control, but this also goes back to my thing. This is me personally thinking, right? This also go back to my dad being a doctor. You see, not my dad personally, but you said my dad's a doctor, right?
Okay.
He's a heart surgeon. one of the best in the world, right? Mm-hmm. He teaches me all about heart surgery from the age 5 until I'm 20 something.
That was some shit from last. He gonna bring a dead body home.
Yeah. Go ahead though. I'm listening.
So my dad's a heart surgeon. He taught me from 5 to up. Right. And if I don't go to school to be a heart surgeon, you can't tell me don't do heart surgery.
I can.
Right, but
can't.
But see, this is the whole thing though.
You can't.
Heart surgery is different.
But see, I'm saying surgery. Like we could go. Like my dad, he's a top heart surgeon. I'm saying he's basic. He's the guy.
But
he could go underpaid. He could go under the radar and get paid bag and do heart surgery. Or get paid. Bag on the record.
Like, do you know that?
Nah, but I got you off that. Yeah, I got you off that. But see, the thing about it is, like, okay, if you literally was doing that, right? My whole notion is like, your expectations are your expectations.
Right.
Once you get to this particular age or mindset, like, you got to start living for you, right? So for me personally, like, my whole academic career and everything like that, I felt like, all right, family's my motivation, but like at the end of the day, Jay gotta want this. If Jay don't want this, then I mean it's not gonna happen. Like when it comes to like, my high school diploma, my college degree, whatever it was, if I never wanted it, you feel me? It goes back to the self-awareness because like I said, at the end of the day, you gotta want it. Nobody else can, do it for you. So it's and then also it's expectations too.
Like even then, just doing it for somebody else not gonna satisfy you.
Yeah, it's not. You gotta really want it. If you gonna set in stone for yourself, like, all right, bro, I'm going to school because I want to get that degree. Oh yeah, bet you want to get that degree. You gonna go ahead and make it happen. Oh, so and so said I need to get a degree. So I go get a degree.
Just go back to the question earlier though, right? Just go back to the exact question earlier.
Go ahead though.
So what do you prefer? Happiness or money? Like all jobs don't bring money.
Nah, they don't.
I prefer the fucking money. Like, what the fuck job?
I mean, so
you rather work and be miserable than be happy?
I mean, so for me,
I'm gonna work and be miserable anyway. I don't want to work for none of these.
No, this is
I mean, so okay, so I mean, well,
so if I'm happy and making money, I don't have to make that choice. But you're saying
you do.
Right.
I mean,
I'm gonna take some money because I'm gonna be unhappy working for any.
Yeah, it's. I mean, for me personally, I know.
Some people
like I said, like with community work and
you can't say some people. I didn't say everybody.
The average nigga don't get both.
Yeah, I just said. That's
I mean, happiness is happiness and money is money. Obviously, we know that we have to have. We got responsibilities, things of that nature, right? So, but for me, and where I'm at with it. You know what I'm saying? I want to do what I love doing. So that's what I'm doing. You feel me? That's me. I'm gonna do what I love doing. Do I know that it's a sacrifice where it's like it's not gonna be a big bag that comes with it? That's fine. But it's like
$250,000 a year, right?
Yeah, I just found that out. I didn't know. You feel me? I ain't know.
I knew that.
But see, I didn't know that. You feel me? I didn't step into that.
$250,000 a year to go talk to somebody to build them up.
But see, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's so many ways that you can bet on yourself and do these things. You feel me? Even with podcasting, like, you know, you guys are content creators. Like, that's a dope thing. You feel me? Like, that's hard to do. Everybody feels like it's easy, but it's you feel me? Like, it's different things. You feel me? Like, y'all are tapping into different things. So going back into it, like, if your happiness is important, like I said, it's purpose over assignment. Like, anybody can do any assignment in the world. But if you got a purpose and a will and a willpower to do it, it's good.
That's what Red Grant said. Purpose over popularity.
It is. Purpose. Yeah, it's your purpose. It, like, if you know you're here for a reason, everybody's here for a reason.
Do you know that reason though?
Oh yeah, mine is that.
Do you know that reason?
I do. I know.
Have you found it?
I found it.
You found
self-awareness.
Everybody don't find it early. Everybody found it.
Nah, because you're in the self-discovery stage. There's no age to find it, bro.
There's no age.
Like, I never would have thought that I would be in this position right now. So I always
Corey
thought that.
Like,
I always thought
35, I'd have been lost his stomach.
That's his purpose? This is his stomach?
Nah, go ahead, man. Go ahead, man. His purpose not to lay But nah, going back to what you saying though, I feel like, you know, yeah, like going back to your purpose is really finding like your why. Because everybody else gonna ask you every other question like who, what, where, when. But as long as you know your why and why you're here and why it's happening, you know.
Because I want to.
But I'm just saying, you know your why and you protect it, you good.
It doesn't matter your reason why.
Because your why.
As long as you know it though.
No, because your why be too stubborn though.
I mean, you can't be too like you have to. If you want to live your dream and be successful, you have to be stubborn.
So you're already Kanye.
In a sense, no, you can. But Kanye is rich.
He's stubborn.
He's not successful, maybe romantically, but monetarily. Kanye didn't like. If Kanye would have listened to people, Kanye probably would have been quit.
He would have.
And I mean, I mean, you know, like I said, just, like dropping information and dropping gems, right? You got to be unapologetic about what you're doing. And the reason why I say that is because you're not going to be able to please everybody. What I realized about this whole entire thing, like you said there, you can do an episode, you can do a video. Somebody may not like it, somebody will like it, whatever, right? You just have to understand that at the end of the day, like, you just got to continue to keep it moving, like, no matter what. Because somebody's going to catch it eventually. You know what I'm saying? What you didn't do, somebody else will do. Like, if you make excuses every day, there's people out here that's not making excuses and doing what you want to do off the willpower that they've attempted to do it. So you just got to attempt to do it and fall in love with the mistake, bro. Like, it's a mistake. You make the mistake, it's all good.
Yeah,
and that's my thing.
I feel like most people when they told mistakes was good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I'm not going to lie.
But see, always part of a failure.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing. When you strive to do everything perfect, you overthink and you overreact. You feel me? To a lot of things that you shouldn't have even probably overreacted to in the first place.
Or overthink. Or just
you do overthink, yeah.
Or just say, hey, this is today, tomorrow.
I mean, we're all content creators. 9 times out of 10, we're probably like, we overthink a lot of things. I mean, it's true. You know what I'm saying? At times. But, you know, you still got to understand that you make mistakes along the way.
No, that wasn't what I was talking about.
Yeah, but you can make mistakes along the way and it's cool. Because like I said, at the end of the day, maybe people are looking for that mistake to be like, oh, this person is human. Oh, it's okay. Because sometimes we strive so much to be perfect and we don't take this knight and shield and armor off of us. Look, and it's like, yo.
I tell everybody this right here, right? You a comic fan, I'm a comic fan. Don't Stan Lee.
Like Batman.
Stan
There's nothing wrong with Batman.
No, I'm saying Stan Lee.
I hope not.
He had a golden era. He had a golden era of the '80s. A slum in the '90s. 2000 Blade came out, gave a little bit of stock revive. And there's no Marvel's the top thing in the 2020s.
Yeah.
He been doing that shit.
Alright, so I feel like
he didn't do that for me.
You giving Blade too much credit for Marvel. Blade was a Marvel, whatever, but Blade didn't do anything for Marvel as a franchise.
It did.
It did not.
It did.
I don't think it. Marvel Blade had nothing to do with Marvel's success in movies today.
Oh, not now.
But I mean, going back to what you're saying, right? Going back to what you're saying about Stan Lee.
They gave him the money.
Yeah, but going back to Stan Lee, right? You saying like he started in the 90s, 2000s. Blade came about, right?
It takes time.
It takes time.
Almost 60 years.
Right. So what I'm saying, but see the thing is,
they had money. Show me that.
But see, that's the thing though.
No, they had.
He took his time though. He took his time and he believed in himself. A lot of people probably was like, man, he gonna flop. Man, he gonna do this or he ain't gonna make it. But he continued to do
That was
it.
a bad example. You can't.
The 80s, the golden era of
I don't
comics.
think we should use white people as example when like you.
I can't think about it,
bro. Like, but I'm saying even like
I can't think about it.
I would like no funny shit. I will say white homeless people. They're wasting your fucking skin because they can go into a job and get that motherfucker before me, regardless of what's on my resume.
Not tonight. Alright, we can do this in no time.
I was trying to.
I feel you.
I mean, us as African Americans, we have to fight twice as hard. I mean, that's a fact. That's
twice as hard don't mean is this. You gotta fight till you die.
I mean, okay, but at the end
twice
of
as
the
hard
day,
don't matter because, like you said, the person that's homeless come on Boca Street come take a job. You gotta cut education. Twice hard don't mean shit.
But knowledge.
I'm saying now.
But knowledge is nothing without application.
And not, nigga, I don't care.
That's what I'm saying. Because the thing about it is the knowledge is out here for everybody to get.
I'm gonna be an NFL owner like this. Jay, you got more billions than anybody in the field. We all don't agree with you. You outvoted. Can't be part of this. Can't be part of this club.
It's fact.
Facts. It's not facts. It's facts.
I mean, yeah, but I get you.
No matter how hard your work was, how much you tried.
Right.
No.
Because I'm not qualified to you, but I'm qualified to somebody else.
Yeah, but you're not in the field. You're in the NFL.
Yeah, but see, in your situation, you need the majority.
That's most places though. That's most businesses.
But then
as long as you know,
no different from what we were saying earlier. He's not formally educated in shit because Jay-Z came up off the streets.
Yeah,
like he got his money from a different lane.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But see, the thing is, he realized, you know, Jay-Z was a point in time, I'm pretty sure, where he surrounded himself with that energy that he had to be around or wanted for himself because he took. You know, you could go from hustling to doing, but you could go from hustling and doing, you know, wild activity or whatever, and then going into doing legal things. It's possible. But it's that switch that, are you willing to flip that switch for yourself? Because you can sit there, your homie could be like, man, well, I think you should do this. It's really up to you at the end of the day to really want it. If you don't want it, it's not going to happen. You feel me? So, like, for me, I always told myself comparison is a thief of joy. So when people kept saying that, oh yeah, you try to do things like this, that, and the third, I felt humbled to be in the same conversation as, oh yeah, you remind me of this. You remind me in the same breath or the same conversation, like, you know, $1 million worth of game, Wallo 267. You know,
I hold you the DMV Wallo.
That's what some people have said that, you know. But to me, I look at it like
that's not a bad thing.
It's not a bad thing for me at all.
Yeah, sure
and you know, at the end of the day, I never really told myself that one day I was going to meet this person, but I ended up running into him, and I took a picture with him. And you know, I went into the podcast as just a network. I didn't go as a fan. And literally, I just had the opportunity. I was ready. Boom, gave him a business card. Boom, told him about Grind Hard, Dream Big. Second you know, let's take a picture. You know what I'm saying? But that's the thing. It's a process. And the thing that's crazy is my engineer was like, you're going to run into him. Y'all on the same energy. Y'all on the same vibe. Y'all on the same frequency. I'm just more motivated now to do what I do. Because I just think at the end of the day, like, yo, somebody like him, his story, if people haven't read it, you know what I'm saying, is very, very impactful too. You know what I'm saying? He was locked up and he changed his life. I think it's 5 years out of prison now.
Yeah, but it's still crazy because you never been incarcerated.
No, I haven't.
Okay. No. Because you speak the same motivational speaking of.
Right. Right. So, you know, it's just for me, I look at things like, you know, it's just different. Yeah, so, you know, I just tell people all the time, like, just to be yourself, you know, stay down, stay humble, and just remain you. Like, your race is going to be your race. It's not going to happen at any given time. Like, for Grind Hard, Dream Big, like I said, I wrote the slogan down in 2014. I'm only a year in, you know what I'm saying? I'm still a rookie on 2K. Like, I don't have it all together. You feel what I'm saying? So, to see other people that, you know, make content and create it and things like that, I'm inspired because I'm like, yo, we all in the same boat, regardless of what your show is about. You're bringing awareness. You're passionate about something. It's a message that you're trying to get across to people. This is like, you know what I'm saying, your purpose is whatever keeps you up at night. That's what I tell myself. I'm big on, like I said, motivation for me, like Nipsey Hussle. Who else? I'll watch Gary V videos. That's, you know, he's a white guy who's a motivational speaker. I don't know if you know Gary V, but yeah, even with him, and listening to J. Cole, Kendrick Lamar, things like that, it's all, like I said, it's all alignment, man. And you just gotta know your why, know why you're here, and what your purpose is gonna be. Like, what are you gonna leave behind? So, grind hard, dream big to me is generational wealth. Right. I'm not giving you $1, I'm giving you information.
Alright, so I feel like information is always priceless, right?
For sure.
So for me, well, I feel like, alright, my question with you, like, what would you want to do the next 5 or 10 years with your platform?
Man, that's a great question. So grind hard, dream big is more than media. So it's not just a podcast, it's literally a lifestyle. Making sure that community is informed, they get the resources that they need, the neighborhoods, the places that people don't go to. You know how people always say, like, pulling up to the trenches and things like that, like, oh, you know, they got to get it out the mud. Nah, let's build gardens around there. Let's plant seeds and then continue to go over there and continue to water it and watch it grow and see the change.
Mud be the mud.
You feel me?
Let's make a garden.
And doing that, yeah.
So the watering, what exactly do you consider like watering for the community?
So watering for the community is more so, you know, we know that mental health is an issue. Getting mentors to come into these places, you know, talking to the kids, you know, gun prevention exercises possibly, schooling them on that. Community days where you could have a big moon bounce out there for the kids, face painting, things like that, because you're creating experiences and things that kids probably have never even seen before.
Once a year.
Or they see it once a year and it's like they long for it.
They
so much they want
year.
it, right? Yeah, because they want attention. And sometimes we got to create a platform so that way they can be seen. Because the rhetoric for a kid to be called bad and labeled bad, you know, it doesn't sit well with me. I always think that, you know, kids aren't bad. I just think that they're misunderstood. And nobody's taking the time or the effort to really see what's going on with.
To the kids' feelings.
Yeah, they
No,
don't.
like my thing from a big alternative school, been going to alternative school, it was, they never said we bad kids. We was kids who made mistakes. That was it.
Right, but see the verbiage in which you're told also.
Yeah,
if you're told that, but if you were told that you were bad over and over again, that's not saying you're gonna be bad, right? So I just think that
I'm gonna show you bad.
Yeah, see, and I think also over time it's more so if you're misunderstood. You know, that's why I try to like when I talk to a kid, I always tell a kid that they're misunderstood. They may not, like I said, they're trying to find themselves, but we also have to be human too and realize that we went through that trial and error as well. Like we wasn't perfect either. Like we slipped up, we made a mistake. Like, you know, for us in our community in the DMV, I'm not gonna lie, like go-go was really big. You know what I'm saying? And you go to the go-go's, you knew who had money, you knew who didn't have money, right? So you knew who was fly, who was this and that, the third. So these neighborhoods, you know, people was repping the neighborhoods and, you know, getting stamped in the go-go's, and it was a good paid in full era. That's what I like to call it, a paid in full era, right? But now when we go back into our communities and things like that, the things that matter is like, all right, well, what's gangster? Gangster is making sure that the neighborhood is good, like everybody's fed, everybody has the opportunity, the availability to do that. But some people look at gangsters different ways. You know what I'm saying? So I just think that, you know, for us, it's just the mindset and where we're in. And, you know, for us as men to, you know, try to step up and fill a void. I'm not sitting there saying like, yeah, go ahead and be a teacher or something like that, but play a part. If you see something wrong, correct it. You know what I'm saying? Don't be afraid to speak out on something.
We have a choice as people who are both raising young men. Like, we have to navigate them through the shit that we've been through. And that's why I was saying earlier, like, it's a difficult situation. It's just like, the things I went through, it guided me and it molded me into what I am. I don't know. I wouldn't want my son to go through half the shit that I went through.
That you went through, right? Absolutely.
Even though I know the shit made me who I am today. So it's just like, maybe I can tell him this, that, and the third.
Right.
But I know as somebody, maybe it's because I didn't have a father, so maybe the words didn't hit the same. But I can tell you whatever I want to tell you.
Right.
You're still gonna do what you want to do.
Right. Exactly.
At the end of the day.
Yeah.
So it's just like I get it, and I don't want my son to do certain shit, but I know it's inevitable.
Yeah.
You know. So shit be fucked up. So it's just like the shit that I went through, bro. I could have died who knows how many fucking times.
But you here though. You know what I'm saying? You still here. You still here. You still got.
But then it'd be
purpose.
just my fucking luck. He doesn't have the same luck as me, so that's why I say I don't want him to go through what.
Exactly. So I mean, you know, you doing everything in your power too, and like I said, you know, I commend y'all both, you know, being fathers, because I know that, you know, like I said, I'm not a parent. I plan to be, hopefully one day. You know what I'm saying? To have
Kids suck.
You feel me? Nah. But you know, but I tip my hat off to y'all because you guys are accepting the responsibility and understanding and trying to do everything that you want to do. You feel me? So you know, I tip my hat off to y'all for
I was trying to take a nap. I got my ass beat.
So you know, I think that's hard too. But you know, us as men, we got to come together and you know, just figure out what it is. And you know, like I said, now it's just like I had OGs, you know, people that made decisions and told me like, nah, Jay, you're not supposed to even be outside. Mm-hmm. Don't be like me. Things like that. So it's like for me to be the person that read books, to stay in school, and you know, I'm saying, you know, this going down, and this happening. I got past the right. Yeah.
More hoods need people like that tell you do not do it. The fuck we're doing.
Right, exactly.
Because you will end up like me, but you, as a youngster, you might look up to them. Not knowing the full whatever what they're actually
yeah, that's what I'm saying, because like I said, and it goes to, you know, you are what you entertain, not attract. Because for me, it's people that did positive things, it's people that did negative things, right? And I had to separate that. It's a time for work, it's a time for play, like things like that. You know, God willing, I never was, you know, locked up, caught up in any trouble or anything like that, because I was able to stay focused, and I knew, you know, 9 times out of 10, if I get in trouble, oh yeah, mama on me, pops is on me, you know, things like that. So just surrounding yourself with positive people that's going to pour into you. I think now with, you know, with social media and dealing with social media, it's a crisis for a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? Us as adults, we go through it, we scroll through it, we see negative things. Kids too.
Mental issues for a lot of people.
Right. So, you know,
the younger generation.
Yeah, the younger generation, right? So, you know, they're
easy,
like you said,
influenced.
They're easily influenced.
They have to keep up,
with
the trends or what the next person is doing.
Right. So it's sad and it's demoralizing to that. And I feel like, you know, for us, it's like how we navigate it too, and you know how we.
I know if we the best generation.
Now we not, because I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you the thing about that. It's just like being a nigga. Me personally, I always say how I never had like a father figure or whatever. Like a nigga try to tell me something. I know what the nigga probably done been through. I know what the nigga whatever. But in my mind, people can try to preach or tell you whatever they want. In your mind,
you gotta do what you gotta do.
I don't care about what you're saying. I hear you, but I'm gonna do what the fuck I do.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's the hardest part with anybody.
Yeah, and then you gotta, like I said, like it's a difference between environment and atmosphere. So like with youngins, I really try to tell them like you could create your atmosphere. You know what I'm saying? When you're young, you're imaginating a lot. Like your imagination's gonna run wild. You feel me? But as you get older, like you shy away from imagination because it's, oh, this is my reality now. Society, reality, all these things. So, you know, sometimes 9 times out of 10, I be, you know, if they're in the hood and they're in the environment where you feel like, oh my gosh, like, oh, the neighborhood is bad or this, that, and the third, I would say, like, you know, my challenge is, all right, well, take them out the hood for a second. Show them something else. Show them some upside. Because, like, you know, like I said, also, like, you don't have to order eggs to see the sunny side. Like, you don't have to. You feel me? So you could take somebody out the hood, take them on a field trip, you know, something like that, and expose them to something.
I moved in reverse as opposed to that. Like, when I was younger, there's certain shit that I wanted to do, but I was just like, that's just not realistic.
Okay.
It's not realistic. But as I got older, and now, I see The shit that I wanted to do when I was younger.
It's already been done. It was realistic.
No, it's possible.
Yeah.
Now, I did like when I was younger. Like I said the shit like when Ray Grant joined. I said the shit like I always wanted to make movies.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's like since I can fucking remember.
Yeah.
That's always what I wanted to do. But growing up, that shit was not possible to me in my mind.
Right.
It's because even getting a camera, expensive as shit. Like I used to Google shit.
Right.
The price of a fucking camera, that shit's not expensive. I look up the average movie I watch, the budget of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
20 million, 50 million.
Right.
Where the fuck am I gonna get that?
Where you gonna get the money at? Right.
That's not.
Right. Yeah.
That's
It's like it's not realistic. Right.
But
Yeah.
London,
But don't.
No, but as I got older, you don't need all that. The shit we record with, like I get why people would be skeptical of what I record with iPhone.
Mm-hmm.
But I break it down to everybody where I learned and did my research on.
Mm-hmm.
It's possible. Mm-hmm. It's been done by people who are big people. But that's what I'm saying. I moved in the opposite. Like as I got older, I learned the shit that I wanted to do as a kid that I thought was unrealistic.
Right.
It's more possible now.
Right, so your imagination is probably at an all-time high, which is great.
Yeah, 'cause
I'm gonna clap that up, bro. I'm not gonna lie, because I feel like that's dope. Because normally at that age, you probably feeling like, all right, man, I'm gonna just take whatever. It's over, nah. Like, you know, so like for you to still imagine and dream.
Nah, I
you
keep
should
telling
still,
these niggas,
yeah, you
bro,
can still,
grind hard, dream big.
Yeah, grind hard, dream big.
I apologize to these niggas sometimes because I say I got too many ideas for y'all.
Yeah, and that's cool though.
I got too many.
You want to do those movies, do them joints,
I
bro.
got too many ideas.
Yeah.
Not even just movies. Like when it comes to this podcast and this platform in general. So, like what I would say, like I go to job interviews. I got my podcast on my resume.
Right.
Because it's a thing to me. This shit's real to me.
Yeah, it's real.
Like, I put in real work.
Yeah,
I sit and edit shit for hours.
Yeah.
Manipulate the shit. And you know what I'm saying? But like my past 5 interviews, like on God, they spend more time talking to me about that than the actual job. They asking me questions about editing.
They try to leave you a slave.
No, they talk to me about
But
editing.
you're a diamond in the rough.
They talk to
You know
me
what I'm
about editing, podcasting, all of that shit. Like
They
it
try to
should
steal
be,
ideas.
nah, it should be crazy to me. I don't tell them what we do, but they just like first question they ask, "What's your podcast about?"
Right.
We're not about one specific thing. Like it's not a box that we're in.
Right.
Like we literally try to have everybody from all whatever you do. Come on, we never had nobody who does this, so come tell people about this.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
Educational. If
Yeah.
I say like we had a pole dancer.
She educated the shit out of me.
It's
I
like,
thought it was
that
strippers.
shit comes with a stigma.
Right, yeah.
Strippers, taking plenty.
Yeah, like you guys are having different types of people, but that's
But she
what I'm
can
saying.
tell you
Yeah.
that's not what it is. Whatever you
Jazz,
jazz,
yeah.
classical art, tap dance,
Right.
all that. I'm
Yeah,
like,
so,
damn,
I mean,
this is
you know,
dangerous.
even if she never did that, the reason she pole dances is not tripping.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
I
Yeah.
don't care what kind of dancer she did.
I mean, for me, like I said, it's an opportunity to build and network. But like I said, at the end of the day, like you guys said with your podcast and what you guys do, it's a beautiful thing. And like I said, for mine, it's just vice versa. I look at it as, I'm educating you. I'm bringing in somebody that that's genuine, and we're just gonna have a conversation. It's not really about highlighting the product. It's really about the person. And what that person is sharing, the ins and outs, like that mental breakdown that they probably had, but they were still able to do this, the pride and the ego that they still had to deal with, or that hardship, that roadblock. And it's different, you feel me? And I think that art is exploring your mess, and we all are exploring our mess, man. Like if we have broken crayons, we still got to color.
Yeah, got
you.
to.
Regardless,
It still can color.
Yeah, we still can
You can't
color.
lose no color.
Right.
It's still black.
Yeah.
Even if we got a tip to it, even if
Yeah.
the whole crown is still gonna color.
And I'm nothing without my support. I'm nothing without first of all, I'm nothing without God, nothing without my family and my support. So, shout outs to Dare to Be Different, shout outs to Braxton Legacy Foundation, shout outs to everybody that's included me, everybody that's followed me, everybody that's, believed in me, even at times where I didn't believe in myself. But like I said, I'm just excited about, the future and what Grind Hard Dream Big has. It's going to be something monumental, and I just want people to tap in.
I say everybody speak what they want to believe into existence, because everybody, like, it's a billion and some people in the world, right?
Yeah.
And everybody always to talk, you one out of a billion or one out of a million, right? You are that. But also you need to collaborate with people who are just the one out of that too, to become a unity, to become the one.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Not just a one, you need to become the one.
Right.
A collective group of people who have the same ideas to make something bigger.
Yeah, for sure. And that's what I want to say, you know, even with content creators, like, it's a hard thing. Like, you know, I consider myself still a rookie on 2K because there's a lot of things that I'm still learning. Formatting and presentation and structure is big for me. You know, I wasn't really a big fan of watching the news like that. You know, but I do feel like being an informed person in America is important. So, like, in order to be an informed person, like, you have to, you know, read, study information and things of that nature. So, like, if you didn't do that, then how? But I feel like people struggle to watch the news, right? Because every time you watch the news, it's something negative.
Repetitive.
So this idea for Grind Hard Dream Big, you know, it being a podcast, it's another way that people could watch the news. It's another way that people could be informed. And that was my approach, and that's how I knew that it's going to be different.
So I'm gonna ask about your process when it comes to your podcast, like when it comes to guests.
Yeah.
Like, how do you seek out your guests to be like, oh, I want this person on, and how do you go about approaching that person to get them to come on?
So for myself, I always tell myself, like, what is it that I'm always passionate about talking about? So I know things that affect our community as far as, like, voting. I know that's a big issue. Mm-hmm. I know financial literacy is a big issue. Mental health is a big issue. Learning how, you know, wanting to learn how to start a business. You know, a lot of people, you know, like I said, I have artists, I have people that, you know, have ran before for, you know, office seats, people that have businesses, people that want to share fitness, life, you know, and I think the biggest thing about the conversations or just going about the guests is one, you know, reaching out to the guests. All the people that have been on my show, I've met in real life. So I think that's also the thing. I strive to make it organic. And the one thing I always tell them is just to be themselves. Don't sell me your product. Don't sell me your stuff. Don't sell me. Yeah, give me the personality. Give me yourself and be your true. Yeah, just give me you. So I think that's the biggest thing, and you know, making myself uncomfortable too, because it's the vulnerability part. Because sometimes you can get lost in the process too, and I just constantly remind myself, like, yo, you know, we vibe and it's an energy. We're gonna be good. We're gonna be straight. It's just a conversation. That's all it is.
As far as the guests that you've had, who is the person you think, like, was the most outside of the box?
I've learned from every single one, I can say. But I know that, you know, as far as like a conversation that I had with a person, as far as like fitness, it was a fitness lady that came on, and we were talking about just like meal prep and nutrition. Sometimes we just eat to eat food, right? So it's like, hey, I'm gonna just eat just to eat, right? And it's like, alright, but we also have to be wondering, you know, like, our diet is more than what we eat. And she was explaining it. You are what you eat. So, like, her explaining that process and understanding that, and just, you know, not only exercising your body, but exercising your mind, and making sure that you're inclined.
As a kid,
I think that was definitely a gem that, you know, I had to really take away and be like, all right, well, dang, let me go ahead and apply that. And then there was also another individual that was, you know, telling me to celebrate your small wins. Because I feel like that's also important too. For me, I struggle with that because
I told myself that
I have to. I find myself constantly on the move, constantly grinding, working, and it's like, what does self-care look like for you?
No.
Or what does, you know, celebrating the win look like for you? I always look at it like, so what's next? Like, I just did this. What's next?
I definitely told myself that. Right. I told myself this, like, and there's a little bit of motivation I feel like I can give. Right. So, like, me personally, I looked in the mirror one day, and I sat down some days and I just talked, just shout out. I was like, hey, you know you was here 10 years ago. You know you was the same person, or you know you was born this way. 2-bedroom house, 8 people in it. You got a house with 3 people in it total, 4 bathrooms, 5 bedrooms now. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I came from nothing Don't look at stuff like, you ain't doing shit. No, I did it.
Right.
I'm here now. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? Look in the mirror and be like, bro, everything you spoke of, God gave you.
Right.
So appreciate it. Look in the mirror and say, I appreciate this.
Yeah, for
Because I
sure.
still could have been stuck.
Yeah.
I still could have been generational curse.
Yeah,
but
for
I'm
sure.
not that no more.
Yeah, I'm
You know
not
what
yet.
saying?
Nah, I agree.
I broke it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I broke it. Like, I can't look in the mirror and say, what are you going to do next? What are you going to do next for the future of your great-grandkids? Bro, you did what you didn't do for dude now.
For sure.
Accept it and understand it. And then appreciate it. And then you could appreciate it and then go to the next stage. Ain't nothing like going to the next stage and not appreciate yourself. Because you're like, I ain't do shit. You have. You have
Yeah,
done it.
no, for
You
sure.
have accomplished
in this days,
steps.
yeah, in this days where, you know, I feel like that, where it's like, it's ugly, it's rough and things like that, but I just gotta really realize that, you know, I'm grateful for everything that I have. I have to appreciate it all.
You have to.
You know, the good, the bad, the ugly. And also that, you know, I'm right where I want to be. Like I said, it's I'm running my own race. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you don't want to compare yourself to anyone else. God made you the way that God made you, and you're going to do what you need to do on your time. So just to share, you know, my story and just to share, you know, inspiration, you know, I want people to be inspired and motivated, like to feel like they can dream, that anything is possible. And, you know, you just got to believe in yourself, regardless of how rough things get or how tough things get.
And my thing is to compare it to, like, you want to compare stuff to people for real, compare it to celebrity childhood stars. Really. They ain't who he was as child stars.
Yeah.
And that. Some people go suicide, some people go drugs, some people go, I'm not that no more. And some people strive again, like the guy who was caught on camera working in the supermarket who was the guy on the Cosby Show.
Playing power now.
And he playing power now as a lawyer.
Yeah.
That was the phase. Everybody was like, you was on Cosby Show.
Yeah,
you
they ain't know.
He wanted to work.
Yeah.
And then he that freaking him probably seeing all those posts. You know that man could have killed himself from that.
Yeah.
That self, like, I ain't shit. That self, like,
yeah.
These people say I ain't make it to who I'm supposed to make it to, but I've enjoyed my life and enjoyed it for the journey.
Right.
And look where he at now. He's on Power.
Yeah. One of the
biggest show.
Yeah, one of the biggest shows in the world. Yeah, and I think, you know, like I said, for y'all as you know, us as creative, you know, content creators, it's a beautiful thing. And you know, like I said, man, the best is yet to come. And you know, I just tell people to grind hard, dream big, and you know, the harder you grind, the bigger you dream. Because I'm a firm believer in that. That's, like I said, the slogan that I wrote in 2014, and you know, here in 2022,
You living it.
Living it,
and
bro. Being living proof, man. It's a beautiful thing.
Me myself, I got one last question. Like, what's the overall? Like I said, he gave you 5-10, but like, what's the overall like biggest thing you want to accomplish with your platform?
The biggest thing with my platform, I want people to really like look at it as in it's just like monumental. Like, think about how people view like an arena. You know what I'm saying? Like a Staples Center, like a Staples Center.
Do you do live shows?
I've never did a live show before.
You want to?
Yeah, probably would want to one day to do that.
I would like to do that shit.
And
I got a link.
a grind hard, dream big facility. I'm gonna speak it into existence. With this facility, it's gonna be like how Boys and Girls Clubs were.
We gotta have a tour, man. Grand Big think I'm pleasant.
Yeah, so like it's the reason why I say that is because we don't have the resources like that. So creating an incubator space for kids to, one, get the tutoring services that they need, because we know that school is important.
Hey, that's
Two, understanding our financial literacy. Three,
might be locked
having mental health support for these kids, and not only for the kids, for us as well, because we definitely need it. And you know, like I said, just opportunities to take, you know, inner city kids to bigger and better places. Like, it's a problem for an inner city kid not to go to Six Flags, or inner city
Bro,
kids
like,
go to Kids
I
Domain,
know.
or something like that. Because I feel like it's bad because it's like
It's
they
there.
always wanted
It's
to
in
be
your
there. And it's
neighborhood.
literally up the street from
It's
your
up the
house.
street, yes.
So like, why can't you go?
You can't
Right?
achieve
So
it.
I just feel like they should be able to have those opportunities to at least go to these places, and it's nothing to get a bus and put some kids on the bus and get some funding for it, because we have to be the change that we want to see for real. In the DMV, I mean, it's a lot of people that's out here for self, and the one thing I'm gonna say is like, to do this community work, you gotta realize it's a sacrifice, and it's community over competition. So COC, community over competition, like
It doesn't matter by the prosper your community.
Exactly. We all have different.
Yeah, I ain't about to throw 100 event just to say I did it. I'm gonna throw
Right.
this event. I'm gonna make sure
Exactly.
I actually care about.
And that's why.
And
And that's why I think it's so heartfelt with myself, because it's been so genuine. Like I said, feeding the homeless out the D shelter. Shout outs to Dare to Be Different. She brought me on board with that. She believed in me when I didn't even believe in myself. She said, "Look, these motivational videos is strong. Like,
that's
I'm
somebody
loving
who already
this.
had a platform believing in your word.
Believing in my word, right? Exactly.
That's deep.
That's deep, right? Exactly. So that really gave me a green light, and
nobody gotta lie to you.
right, exactly. And shout outs to Sierra from Braxton Legacy Foundation, tremendous woman. We were able to collaborate and do a back to school drive here in Glen Arden. The goal initially was 100 book bags. I told myself like 100 book bags. The day of, we literally doubled it. And that's through God's grace and people literally buying into a vision. That was literally 3 weeks.
There's also
3 weeks
watching who ain't responding, but they about to go in.
Right. So it's just like, it's so many things that we can do in our community to make it a better place. But we had people literally driving from different cities to come to Glen Arden. You know what I'm saying? So it's just,
you said
it's a
different
need.
cities.
Different cities from Prince George's County.
That's still different cities. Bro.
Right, exactly. So
That's
it's just
a block.
Exactly. So for me, it's not bragging, it's not boasting. It's just understanding and knowing that this is a need. It's people, it's communities everywhere that's underserved. So giving them food, giving them toiletries, the littlest things. We have to be the reason why somebody else smiles.
All right.
We do.
So to wrap it up, right?
Yeah.
What is your we already asked your biggest goals in your 5-10 years plan.
Right.
So for me, I'm gonna go a little personal with this one, right? Like, even if you were to get where you were to get, what would be the next step?
My next step would be to put somebody else in position. You're only as good as your position, not necessarily saying your title, but if you're able to create an opportunity for somebody, if you see somebody that's just as hungry as you, why not share the information? Why not like
So like spread knowledge.
Yeah, spreading the knowledge and letting them know how you did it. Now, sure, they can take the same footsteps, but the journey's going to be different. But they being able to share the information. We're in the information age now where, if I'm sitting on something, why not share it with the next person? I'm not looking at it like, okay, well, I shared it with this person is ahead of me. We running the same race. We running the race. You know what I'm saying? We have our own personal goals, so like, your race is different from my race, but if you get to your finish line, it's cool.
I would say the whole time, I feel like when people say race, I feel like some people want to compete, right? I feel like everybody should be in their own race. You should be in a race with your past stuff and not somebody else.
No, absolutely. I agree with you. Your past has nothing new to say.
You
shouldn't answer to it.
You should want to overlap your last stuff and not trying to compete with somebody else who's already might be ahead or might be behind. So why are you trying to compete with that person?
Right, exactly. I always tell myself, my past is my past. It has nothing new to say. What I do today can dictate my tomorrow. And like I said, when I read my books and I'm journaling a lot, for the people that don't journal, I advise you to journal because you can easily clear your thoughts that way too. That's really has helped me tremendously to do that as well. And, like I said, just enjoy your journey and realize that you are somebody because somebody watching you.
Okay, JayFlow. JayFlow, I can get 3 advices to people out there who want to spread motivation. Now, motivation it's easy to talk it, but can you really spread it?
Rather just give us 3 pieces of motivation.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, so just give you some motivation.
Yeah,
Alright, so I'm gonna just
You.
treat it like I'm really on. Alright, I said jump and I'm up. Look, it's JayFlow, man. I'm just letting y'all know right now, if you're holding on to your dream, you're holding on to your desire, whatever it is right now, push the stop button. For the dream, the goal, the desire, push the stop button. That's one. Never let anybody get you out your character or get you out your zone.
Okay.
Get back in your bag. That's my second. And you are somebody, you are dope, you are a vibe, and you are important. And somebody's rooting for you, even when you think that they're not rooting for you. Somebody's rooting for you. So never give up on your dream and never settle. And also, people say what they say, they do what they do. Move on, move forward, let go, let God, forgive.
Amen.
Reason being is because, like I said, you're going to be blocking your blessings if you hold on to it. Yeah. So that's all I would say. And most importantly, the harder you grind, the bigger you dream.
And you know, it's another episode, another interview with your boy Sly the Guy No Lie.
Shampoo, aka Big Shampoo.
And man, appreciate my man JayFlow coming.
I appreciate y'all.
Shout out one more time, bro.
Yeah, grind hard, dream big. The harder you grind, the bigger your dream. The harder you grind, the bigger your dream. JayFlow301MD. The harder you grind, the bigger you dream on IG. Let's get it, let's get it, let's go.